911. Where is your emergency?
No, my friend been shot. But the other person is still in the house with my friend.
You say your friend been shot.
I need him. I'm in his house.
Okay, ma'am. Did somebody shoot your friend at your house?
Yes.
Who shot him? Who shot him?
I don't know his name.
It's 11 p.m. at an apartment complex in Macon, Georgia, where police respond to a report of a shooting.
By the way, what do the body cams on Law and Crime prove? Maybe that the world is unpredictable, and sometimes when those scary and unpredictable situations arise, having a great lawyer matters, right? Well, that is where our partner and sponsor, Morgan & Morgan, comes in. No, it's not just a place that makes really good hats. This one actually fits me well. No, it's a firm with over 1,000 attorneys. And you know why they have so many? Because they win a lot. Past few months, Morgan & Morgan secured a $29 million verdict for a bicyclist in Philadelphia, a $2.7 million verdict for a car accident.
My friend been shot, but the other person is coming in the house. That was the 911 call, 11 seconds in. And if you listen carefully, something is already wrong. Not wrong the way grief sounds wrong. Wrong the way a rehearsed line sounds wrong when someone forgets which part comes first. Because here is what the public record shows. On the night of the shooting, 27-year-old Jada Johnson called 911 to report that her friend had been shot by an unknown male intruder. That is the story she told the dispatcher. That is the story she told the officers who arrived. And that is the story that began to collapse the moment investigators looked at her phone.
Victim in Florida and $5.6 million for a car crash victim in Georgia after insurance offered that client $0. And even if you think your case isn't worth millions of dollars, why not start a claim and fight for what you deserve? And Morgan & Morgan makes it so simple. You can start a claim from your phone in just 8 clicks. So if you're injured, you can easily start a claim at forthepeople.com/LCBodyCam or click the link in the description and pin in the comments.
Dispatch, call him back and tell him at 208D. This here's knocking at the door. Sheriff's office. Distraction. Yeah. Dispatch, see if you can locate that call. It might be a distraction call. See if they can. Huh? Hey, Mom.
With no answer at the door, officers head downstairs to try to find answers.
I'm trying to make contact with the caller. She's not answering the phone.
Knock on one of these doors, see if they.
Picture a spider sitting at the center of a web it built, then walked into itself. That is what this case looks like from the outside. Every thread leads back to the same point. Every thread was placed there deliberately. And the spider got caught because the fly never showed up the way it was supposed to. Before we go deeper into what the records actually show, make sure you're subscribed to The Darkest Crimes, because we don't just cover the story, we follow the evidence. According to court documents, the victim was 39-year-old Waymond Danzy. He was found inside Jada's apartment with a gunshot wound to the chest.
Inside, police find 39-year-old Waymond Danzy with an apparent gunshot wound to the chest, according to court documents. Waymond was pronounced dead on scene a short time later. Next, more backup arrives when all eyes turn to Jada for answers.
He was pronounced dead on scene. The responding officers noted scratches on Jada's head. They noted a shell casing on the floor. They noted, in their own words, that her story did not add up.
She got scratches on her head too.
Yeah, I know that. She ain't telling him.
He definitely. Yeah, watch that shell casing.
Watch out.
Yeah.
One officer said it plainly on camera. Her story ain't right. That is not commentary. That is a direct observation made by law enforcement within minutes of arriving. And it matters, because what came next, the interrogation, the phone records, the messages, the timeline, did not contradict that observation. It confirmed it.
Police later identify the woman, seen here, as 27-year-old Jada Johnson, their 911 caller and soon-to-be suspect.
How do you get into the door?
The back door is unlocked, but the front door, I locked it. But when I ran and got my kids, I locked the front door.
Where your kids at?
They're with the neighbor right now.
Okay, who's upstairs?
That's my friend.
Is he shot?
Yes, he's been shot. I don't know if he's alive. I didn't get to check. I don't know.
All right.
Did someone come around back?
You was just walking on the backside.
Yeah, I was trying to get your attention.
Okay.
This is what the detective learned when he sat across from Jada Johnson at the station after reading her Miranda rights.
It's gonna be a crazy night.
Next, a detective reads Jada her Miranda rights back at the station before questioning her further.
From the beginning, tell me everything from the beginning to the end again. You know, there'll be more detail and explain everything, all right? From the beginning, like when you met Waymond, to this guy, until what happened when you encountered with me.
I don't remember exactly when I met Wayne, but I know it was September.
September.
It was around September because I had to pay the rent, and I was
You paid rent in September?
yes.
Okay.
I paid rent in September.
Jada told the detective she had met Waymond on an online dating platform while she was working as an escort. By her own account, he became something close to a protector. She described him as a guardian angel, someone who checked on her, someone who, even after just meeting her, wanted to make sure she was okay. That detail matters, because the man she allegedly used as a weapon in a revenge plot was the same man she described, in her own words, as the person who cared most about her safety.
He just was, at this point, he became he was like a guardian angel for me. He wanted to make sure I was okay. You know, if something was wrong, call him. Even if he just had met me, and it probably sound crazy, it might be, I don't know, but he wanted to make sure I was okay.
Jada explains how her and Waymond had grown close in the months leading up to the shooting before delving into the details of another client, who she says sparked an alleged revenge plot after the mystery man refused.
But before Waymond, there was another client, a man who, according to Jada's statement to police, came to her apartment, refused to pay, pulled a gun on her, took money from her via a cash transfer app, and sent her a message afterward that said simply, "We good?"
I gotta come back. I'm already here. I'm not leaving. I just had to pay this nigga gas. The money so I could come over here. No, it's just this, and he got the whole time. He got the gun out. Now,
When you do that?
at this point, he got the gun, and he pointed at me like, "So what you gonna do?"
Okay.
He get me. I'm not going nowhere. You got camera in here. He walking around trying to look at stuff. He forced me to get it. He hit me. And then he got done, and he's just like, "Oh yeah, here, request this, taking the money from this cash app." He gave it 2 cash app. It's not showing up. I just say, "Look, it's okay. Just, you got no cash app," and you see, because when he was sitting on the bed, he told me to send him it before any of this, before he even pulled the gun out and stuff. He gave me look my app, like, send it to me on these screens. Then I just said, "You got my cash app?" And just trying to get my $1. Don't even worry about it. Once you be this way, you got the cash app. Just send it to me.
Okay. How much you supposed to get you for that?
125.
125 for okay. But he won't. I mean, he basically didn't pay you for what he did, correct?
Mm-hmm.
He took it.
Yeah.
Took it. Took.
He didn't have the money.
He didn't have the money to pay.
He didn't have
you.
According to Jada, that message broke her. Not the money, not the humiliation, the audacity of those 2 words after what he had done. She showed the message to Waymond, and Waymond got mad.
You heard that right. Jada says her alleged assailant sent her a message saying, quote, "We good?" after the incident, a message she says she later showed to Waymond before the pair allegedly decided to get even.
Oh, okay.
That's on Wayne because Wayne got mad.
That is where the plan allegedly began. Here is what the detective pieced together from Jada's own account and the messages on her phone. Jada sent the original client a series of texts, luring him back to her apartment. She told him to come after 9, so her kids would be asleep. She made it sound like a social visit. Netflix and chill, the message said.
And they've been calling, and he like that's perfect. He got here right on time. He's now walked the best way. Like I said, I heard the Velcro. And when I finally seen his hands, he had put the gloves, had some black gloves on.
According to the timeline reviewed by investigators, Waymond arrived before the target did.
I'm trying to come over there, you know that. What time is it? Okay, 7. Then he said, you still didn't send me that cash out. Okay, can you wait till around 9 so I can put my kids to bed? And he's all right, babe. And he said, that way we can Netflix and chill. Alright, so at that time, you said you called Waymond and said, so tell me to Waymond and said,
He called me.
He called me.
Mm-hmm.
So then he said, okay, 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And what time he met, what time he open the door?
11:26, but he wasn't there.
Okay, so that was 11:03. You text him. You text Waymond said he's calling. And then he said 20 minutes.
He said,
so Waymond.
He came wearing black gloves. He told Jada to have her gun on her when she opened the door. He positioned himself in the hallway, hidden, waiting. Now ask yourself this. At what exact moment does a plan for justice become a plan that a jury will call murder? Because that moment already passed. It passed the night Waymond put on those gloves. The record shows what happened next. The target arrived. Jada let him in. Waymond was concealed. But the target apparently spotted something. A light from his phone, the shadow in the hallway, something. And instead of walking into a robbery, he walked into a fight. According to Jada's statement, the two men began struggling. They threw each other into the walls. Waymond was punching. The target was claiming he had money, that he came to pay. And then, according to Jada, Waymond told her to shoot. She said she didn't. She said her gun was knocked out of her hand during the struggle. She said she panicked. She said she was heading for her kid's room. And then, she heard a gunshot.
Jada says the pair's plan literally backfired when Waymond ended up shot in the incident before she called police. Next, the 27-year-old is informed that investigators don't exactly think she's innocent in the situation.
You take it off. Let me check. All right. Well, I got some bad news, all right? Yeah. Ain't looking good. What you went on? The fact that it was arranged how it was arranged, and it's my doubting process, that's why.
The plan backfired. That is the phrase the record essentially produces. The plan backfired. The man who was supposed to be robbed, the man they lured to that apartment, apparently fired the shot that killed Waymond Danzy. At last check, no suspect has been publicly identified. No charges have been filed against the mystery man. The question of who pulled the trigger on Waymond remains officially open. But here is what is not open. Jada Johnson was booked for felony murder and aggravated assault. Prosecutors later dropped the murder charge. Jada pleaded guilty to aggravated assault.
No, they can't be right now.
Jada was booked for felony murder and aggravated assault. As part of a deal, prosecutors later dropped the murder charge while Jada pleaded guilty to aggravated assault, court records show. The 27-year-old was sentenced to 5 years behind bars, followed by 15 years of probation. But the question remains, who was the mystery man who allegedly pulled the trigger? At last check, no information on possible suspects has been released.
Court records show she was sentenced to 5 years in prison, followed by 15 years of probation. The plan backfired. Say it again. The plan backfired. And Waymond Danzy, the man who by Jada's own description was her guardian angel, the man who got mad on her behalf, the man who showed up in black gloves ready to protect her honor, he was the one who didn't walk out of that apartment. That is the gap this case lives in. Not between what was alleged and what was proven, but between what Jada said she wanted, justice, dignity, to show that it wasn't sweet, and what she actually set in motion. A lure, an ambush, a man concealed in a hallway. If this case made you think, like this video, share it with someone who follows true crime, and subscribe to The Darkest Crimes with notifications turned on, because every week we go back into the records and we follow the evidence wherever it actually leads.